Maggie is waiting for a sip of coffee and a donut hole. But we can't have that, Maggie. We can't have that. Dogs don't get coffee. Oh, Lord have mercy. She's going to pout. Jiminy Cricket. Yesterday was so much fun. Thank you for all the comments and watching that. And I didn't realize it was going to be like 11 minutes of me in an orchard. Anyway, it was fun. We had such a good day, a much needed day. You know, as the kids get older, it's harder for us to have our schedules all line up where we're together. So it was very, very good. We talked about the holidays. We kind of talked about what that we were still going to do our matching pajamas. And we're still going to do we want to do something different for our gift exchange this year. So can you tell we all have Christmas on the brain, even though it's barely fall? That's the way it goes with seasonal decorators, huh? Today, I am it's Sunday, and Art and I are going to have a roast. And the last time I made Mississippi pot roast, I did not have enough because the kids loved it. It was the first time I had made it that way. Normally I just do a traditional brown gravy roast. It's nothing fancy. But the kids and Art, they ate it up. And Art and I really didn't get very much of it. So we're making our own today. Of course, if there's ever leftovers, we drop it off at the boys. But we're making Mississippi pot roast. I'm going to put that on here in a little bit after I wake up. I did sleep in a little bit. It's only 5 this morning. And today I'm going to show you the kitchen, the dining room, and the sitting room for Halloween, how it's decorated. I'm going to go ahead and show you those. Alrighty, so here is the kitchen. We're gonna do a really rough once over because you're gonna see it more formally in the home tour. So it's pretty simple. I didn't do a whole lot in here. I've had pretty much everything in here for a really long time, and I can't remember exactly where I got everything. But I do remember some things. So if you have any questions, just comment below and I will answer them the best that I can. But I've had these forever. I actually got these from the Christmas tree shop. I've gotten the majority of my placemats from the Christmas tree shop, and we all know that it no longer exists, which is so sad. But it's simple. There's nothing in that, but that is a canister. Art looked in there the other day thinking that maybe I stored candy or something in there. And I was like, I promise you I'm not hiding anything. There is nothing in here, honey. Nothing in here. If I can get the lid off. There we go. It opens like that. There's nothing in there. I might sneak some candy in there that I want for myself later. Anyway, I keep this the same. Lately, it's been like this since early spring. And I just switch out little teeny elements for, throughout the seasons. But it pretty much stays the same. I've added my skeleton hands and I sanitized them. I ran them through the dishwasher so they're perfectly sanitized because we do use the stuff in them. So I've sanitized it and we just pull, even Art's really good. He thinks it's kind of funny. He'll pull out the hands, get what he needs when he's filling a sugar jar for his coffee or baking. Art actually bakes. He is a wonderful baker. He bakes all the cookies. Well, not all the cookies, but he bakes all the banana bread. I never do banana bread. He does banana bread. But we share the cookies, but he actually bakes more cookies than I do. I only do it once a year. He bakes cookies all the time. So anyway, he has no problem getting the stuff in and out. It's not a big deal to him, but that's how that looks. Just a simple little spooky touch. And then over here,
for the coffee bar, like I said, I just switched it up so I would still have the pops of orange because I really love orange and black, but I also like black and white. So I kind of tried to blend the two and really keep with the majority of it being like a ghosty kind of theme, but it also has elements of, you know, other Halloween elements like, you know, the cats, you know, those are kind of cool. Hocus Pocus, of course. So that's how that looks. And I chose to put this cup here because it's orange, but, and we always keep a mug here. It doesn't mean that we're actually using it. Sometimes I just put the mug there. And then up top, I really didn't do anything but add leaves. And then I switched out a little bit on the top of the refrigerator. I put my little pumpkin doll, which I love. I've had for years. I cannot remember where I got her. I made the apples. Those were apples that I made a few years ago, and I always pull them out for fall. There is a chalkboard cauldron back there, but I have not written anything on it because the apples are in front of it. And then I have this dishcloth that I don't want to use. It's just for staging, so that's why it's way up there. Nobody will use it if it's way up there. And that's pretty much it for there. And then, of course, I switched out the crock, put some festive spatulas in there. I try not to use those because some of the stuff that I cook with, the spices, will stain the spatulas. So I try not to use the decorative ones when I'm actually cooking. I just use them for decorative only. And that candle smells phenomenal. I have not lit it because I don't want to use it up. So and I keep the cloth on the stovetop because this cutting board or board tray does not have felt or anything protecting the bottom from the top. So this helps to protect that when I have that sitting there. Mr. Lloyd says he's making me a new noodle board. So, because I gave the one that he made me to my daughter. So I might be getting a new noodle board here in the future. We wanted to wait until we get the countertops done because there's a gap and we want the noodle board to fit flush. So we're probably we asked them to kind of hold off on that for right now. And I just added a little teeny touch here and there. Those are the apples that we picked yesterday. I switched this around a little bit. I use this cookbook all the time. It's been in my family for many, 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 many generations. So I use it a lot. Everybody's used it a lot. There's stains all over it, but I just put this there. And just because I actually use the cookbook, it's good to have out, but it's fun to stage too. And over here, I just have my little skeleton, eat, drink, and be scary. The leaves are starting to change, if you can see right there. So I'm super excited. And look at all the leaves. We're having a family day here in a week or two, maybe next week, actually, if we get a few more good winds. Well, no, those leaves have to change in fall. But we will be having a family day when all the leaves are gone, and we're going to, the kids come over and help us rake them because that's quite the chore. I have my Mississippi pot roast going, and it is looking good. If you don't know what that is, the secret ingredients pretty much are, what is it? Pepperoni cheese, the whole jar with the juice and everything, and ranch, and some au jus or Lipton onion soup mix. That's pretty much it. I have my little teeny vignettes over here. Those Target little teenies, the smalls. I love them. Thrifted that box, recipe box, and the bread box. And then Maggie has her little corner over here. She's just here for the treats. And that's pretty much it for the kitchen. So let's head into the dining room. Alrighty, so let's look at the dining room. This was such a fun area to decorate. I loved it. And yes, I'm afraid of mice. I hate mice. I hate those little critters. And I'll tell you, one year, my daughter bought these a couple of years ago, and she brought them and scattered them without my knowing throughout the house. And it made me so upset. I was so freaked out and shook by that because they were so small and they feel so lifelike. It just grossed me out really bad. And look at me now. I am decorating with mice. I think I know my inspiration to begin with was Cinderella. And then, I don't know, it just snowballed from there. The idea snowballed from there starting last year. And then this year, I knew I was going to go with a mice run amok theme. But it's subtle because as you can see, I do have ghost. So I've tied in, I've kind of tied in the ghost throughout the family room, kitchen, and here in a subtle way. It's not like in your face or totally over the top one type of thing. I didn't go all ghost or all skeletons or all mice. I wanted to kind of incorporate everything that I loved, everything that I wanted. I tried to put in these vignettes. I tried to make each room unique, adding all the things that I loved and tried to make it as cohesive as possible. It was not always easy. I really struggled with doing that this year because there were so many things that really didn't go together that I really wanted to use. And it was difficult. And at times I felt like giving up. Honest to God, if I'm being really transparent, I was just like, I don't want to do this. But I kept at it. I kept taking breaks and I kept at it. And I had the luxury of starting to decorate so early that I had time to play with it. I really did. So I love how it turned out. I have all of the apothecary jars that I did last year. Well, actually, I think I did those two. They're 2 years old, actually. So I have all of those. I pulled out some of my standard, my go-to everyday decor, white enamelware and things like that to add and incorporate. And I love how it turned out. I think it just looks so cute. I still need to put something in the witch's brew. I'll probably put candy or something. I don't know. When I have a party, when our paint night and things happen, there'll be something in the bowl. But for right now, there's nothing. And these are supposed to look dusty looking. I wanted it to look creepy. So I kind of achieved that look by doing a dusting. Like I blew a black powder over that while it was still wet. And so it gave it that dusted look. So that's how that turned out. And those are actual cinnamon sticks and Star of Annalise. I think that's Anise. Star of Anise, I think. Correct me. Somebody correct me. Tell me the proper way in the description box. My little cats. So I made the mice. I made the cups. I made all of the apothecary. So those are all made. I also made them down here. So I made this one you can't see very well. Let me do this. I made those. I made that little sign. All right. And of course I just added the cloches. I made the cloches. There's so much to look at in here. I made these from the Dollar Tree domes. I'm not going to open this one because, but I added the feet. I did a gold technique with some paste. I actually have a tutorial to show you on how to get this look for the cloches because you can use these cloches for all throughout the seasons. So not just for Halloween, but anyway, I do have a video that will show you how to recreate that. And you can put whatever you want inside. It doesn't have to be nice. I did get the plates from Spirit of Halloween. Splurged on those, and they're melamine. These are handmade. These are just scrap pieces of cloth. And this is ribbon from the Dollar Tree years ago. And it actually is an adhesive ribbon. So I just cut it and wrapped it around. And it sticks to it. So it's like a little teeny napkin when it's really not a napkin at all. But it gives that little pop of white and that I needed. And I didn't have enough of any type of plate except I splurged. Like I said, Spirit of Halloween, I splurged on 2 sets of these to give me a set of 8. But I just used what I had. And I mixed and matched what I had. These plates right here underneath, these are Dollar Tree, $1.25 a piece. Not bad, right? And I was able to find, I think they had 4. Yeah, they had 4, so I got 4. If they would have had 8, I would have bought 8. And whenever I can find this pattern again, I'm going to buy that collection because I think it's gorgeous. And I ran out of feet for this one. See, this cloche does not have feet yet. I need to stop at Hobby Lobby and pick up more feet because I was short 2 sets of feet. Anyway, like I said, I'll show you how I made those in a video here really soon. This week, maybe. No, this week is the cauldron, so it'll be the following week you'll see how to do the cloche, which is closer to when people start to decorate for Christmas, so it works out perfectly. Mr. Jake is this man's name, no longer Mr. Bones. I named him Jake. You want to know why? My dad's name was Jake, so here's Jake. I get to bring Jake out every year. I'm swatting a gnat. But yeah, I thought it was fitting. So meet Mr. Jake. There you go. I think I told you guys that in a video not that long ago. All right, so over here, this Victrola was one of the best thrifted finds I have found yet. And it was a Facebook Marketplace find, actually. I house my linens in here, but you're supposed to put records, but my linens are in here. Like placemats, table runners, that kind of thing. Not all of them fit, but the ones I use most often are here. This is a nifty little thing. Look, this is not, at first I thought you're supposed to put your records in here, but you're not. These are very thin, slanted. They go at a real sharp slope as you go back. And this is what controls the sound in a Victrola. So you don't have volume control like a button up and down, but this controlled the volume. And how you got that was in another little, oh, here, this is how this works. So these doors are your volume control. It's like your knob for up and down. So if you have them all the way open, that's the loudest you'll hear it. And as you slowly pull the doors in, it gets softer and softer and softer. If you close it, it is extremely muffled, but you still slightly hear it. But that's the lowest sound you can get. But that's how a Victrola works. Of course, you can crank it. And then this is where the big horn would go if you wanted to attach that. And then right under this mouse is all the needles, because you could only use a needle a few times before you had to throw it away and then get a new needle out to play your records. I love this piece. Love it. It's not going to stay with me. I bought it for my son, Andrew, who is a vinyl music connoisseur. So he will be getting that whenever he wants it. But for now, I get to decorate it, and I love it. I wanted to find an old Halloween album. I have not found it yet, but I will probably find it before a party. And if I don't, I'll have it next year. But, and I do have little, like, teeny vinyls, and I was going to put it in this particular mouse mouth. I haven't done that yet, but I still might do that. So anyway, that's how that looks. Have my Halloween countdown over there. And then I didn't know where to put this. I thrifted this at a thrift store in Purcellville, Virginia. It was missing one of the 2 cylinders. I was okay with that. And I used it for various things. Sometimes I'll put some sugars that are different color, like the orange, black, and purple in there, and put a little decorative spatula there and use it in the kitchen. You know, I've put candles in it. There's all kinds of uses for it, and it's such a good piece, I didn't want to not use it. So I just put it on top of my hat box here. It's pretty boring, but I wanted it out. And then I just dressed up the white plates by adding the chargers behind them and some ribbon, because I didn't want to go buy plates, and I didn't want to put ghost plates. I think that would have overdone it. So I kept it simple and just used all white here and here. And then this kind of stayed the same. I just put some white pumpkins out, put the garland that I made out, put some creepy cloth and some of that moss, the plastic moss, in with my rolling pin, switched out the florals in the white vase, put a smaller white vase up there, or jar, pitcher, instead of the bigger one. And then just hung some creepy cloth over the black and white plates. More of the apothecary jars. I did make the skeleton hands from a Dollar Tree hand, and I can link that video below. Last year's Halloween dining room tour, I inserted clips on how I made these hands from the Dollar Tree hands. Really cool project, but it's a tedious one. It takes quite a while to glue those. You have to cut it apart, which is kind of hard. You literally cut the hand apart and re-glue it back together in that shape. So it takes a bit, but it's still a fun project. Dollar Tree sign, you know, more apothecary, mice, that kind of thing. I've had these linens and ribbons forever. And that's all this is. This is just right here, this striped, that's a ribbon. I just put it on each shelf to kind of give that pop of stripe. I made this pillow from a dish towel. This was a dish towel set. So this was the front, or one of the dish towels. And then on the back is the other dish towel that came in the set. And it says Nevermore. So this is 2 dish towels glued together with some stuffing in it. Pretty simple. And that is what the dining room looks like. I mean, I love it. And I always hang black satin curtains. Always black curtains. But I think next, I'm on the hunt. I want to find genuine vintage black lace to hang here next year. So that's, yeah, I'm already thinking ahead. But I also am in Christmas mode already too. So let's walk over to the dining room, the sitting room real quick. And I did the same setup last year pretty much as far as the skeletons reading the books. I love to keep this room a book theme because I keep my books in here and I'm not putting my books away. So I tie them into Halloween and this is how I do it. So it's always going to probably be like a book theme for the most part. But I love putting the skeletons there. This book is really cool because it is from my hometown, Winchester, Virginia. And it is the story of 100 old haunted homes. Well, it doesn't say haunted. Let's try this again. 100 homes. The story of 100 old homes in Winchester, Virginia. Good Lord. Good Lord. But yeah, these are all the old homes in Winchester, Virginia that are still there. And my dad built quite a few of those, or did rebuilds, not build them like from scratch. He went in and remodeled a lot of the insides of those homes as they were bought by, you know, people of newer generations. They would want built-ins, or they would want to modernize or whatever, but still maintain the integrity of the home. My dad did a lot of that work, so that book's pretty cool. Anyway, just some of my old books. I like to pull out my silver or keep my silver. They say not to mix silver and gold, but look, or brass. I did. They say not to mix metals, but I did. Because I don't follow any rules in decorating. I like what I like, and I like how I put it together, and that's all that matters. I thought it would be cool to put my little cape here as if, you know, the witch is not quite in yet, but, you know, she will be right back because her cape's still there. And I put my curiosity sign up here, more of my apothecary jars. And this is so easy to decorate for Halloween because I just take out some of the everyday tchotchkes and put Halloween tchotchkes in. So it's pretty simple. I might keep this old radio out though. I love it. I think it is super cool. And it's a clock, but it's, you know, it's actually it is a clock radio. But this is like a reminiscent of a vintage old, like a really old antique radio. So anyway, there's that. I made those mushrooms. There's another one down here I can get a closer look of. And again, those are the Dollar Tree cloches. You can do so much with those cloches. That's one of my thrifted finds. I made that pumpkin. I just glued a bunch of those little teeny things onto that pumpkin. See that? That's all I did. It's pretty simple to make a creepy pumpkin. I made the dead man's toe. And of course, you guys saw me make all of these. So I'm not going to go into that. The Clark bar. I've had some of these things for so many years. These are Bible pages. I may even keep the typewriter out. I think it's a really cool piece to keep out and switch. And I You guys know I made the teacup and the faux tea that's inside. I love that. And let's swing around here so you can see this. And all I did was keep my hymnals. I love having them out. They're special to me because we actually, you know, those are from years and years and years ago of the churches that we belonged to or served in. And I made these little toads, are Dollar Tree baby toys, and I just painted them. I painted them black and did that same copper paste finish on them. I thrifted this vintage bird cage and put some crows in it and just hung some creepy cloth and leaves. Pulled my old scale out. I made the Hocus Pocus book. I made several of these last year. So many people wanted them. And then this is just a Walmart find. I love that. Up here, I just added a spider to the basket that was already there. And I put, this box right here is super old. I don't know if you can see the top of it. It has like artwork on the top. But it has all of the love letters from my mom and dad that they sent back and forth when my dad was in the Korean War. They're all in there and I just love it. I love to open that box and read all these letters. It's really cool. My little boy Blue, love that. That was a Facebook Marketplace find. I was so excited to find it. I paid $2 for that and I love it. Just added some creepy stuff and some spiders, nothing major. And these are also a really cool find. For this, I got both prints on either side of this room. There's one here and one over there. I got them $10 for the set and they're gorgeous. I love them. They actually hung, who I bought them from was a businesswoman who owns one of the oldest pet grooming places in Winchester, Virginia. And she had them hung in her grooming salon, pet grooming salon. And I bought them off of her and I love them. I just love them. I think they go really well in this room. So this is what it looks like. This is pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and put this up unedited. I'm not going to do anything to it. You're going to see it as is. See my little witch out there. You guys have already seen my witch's coven that's in the entryway. But she's on the porch usually, but it is so windy. Yesterday was in the, let me spin you around real quick. So yesterday only got up to like 61 degrees and it was so windy all day, like really bad wind gust. All of my witch's hats came down. All of the stuff blew down on the porch. So when we got home, we had to bring all of it inside. So I'm just keeping all of it inside for now. So that's why the witch is there. So I hope you liked today's video. I hope you enjoy your Sunday and I will see you guys tomorrow when we do this all again. Bye.